In Consumer Corner, we take a look at trends and products creating a buzz here in China. On today's show, we'll discuss bloated prices of ticket collection and vending machines in China's restructured railroad system. China's sprawling railroad system has recently undergone major restructuring as part of the government's efforts to streamline operations and battle corruption. The Ministry of Railways was dismantled as the newly formed State Railway Administration and China Railway Corporation took over administrative and operational responsibilities. The restructuring effort was a clear attempt by the Chinese government to curb rampant corruption plaguing the railroad industry for many years. Media reports suggest that there is plenty of fat to be trimmed, and one place to start is in the procurement of equipment. There have already been widely reported instances of overcharging and shoddy engineering perpetrated by subcontractors. In 2012, a section of not yet opened high-speed rail completely collapsed after subcontractors reportedly switched out stones for dirt on the ground beneath the rails. Now the 21st Century Business Herald is reporting on dramatic overpaying for ticketing devices used in train stations. Quoting industry insiders, the paper ran a report on stark price differences in ticketing machines used in China's subway and railroad system. Industry sources revealed that prices of ticket collecting and vending machines used in train stations are extremely bloated. While the average fare collection machine used in subway stations costs around $13,000, similar systems used in train stations are bought for around $32,000. Some high-end models are reportedly even going for $50,000. And those gaping price differences aren't limited just to ticketing collection machines. Chinese media report that ticket vending machines in train stations are up to 4 times more expensive than the ones used in subways. The very first automatic fare collection system was introduced in Beijing back in 2003 when Subway Line 13 began using the highly efficient automated system to collect fares. Although China's subways and railroads operate under 2 separate systems, the fare collection and ticket vending machines used in both industries are essentially the same. The only difference is the subway fare collection machines have card readers installed, and the railroad system still accepts magnetic swipe tickets. So if the machines are nearly identical, why are railroad purchasing agents paying so much? Industry insiders said that the monopoly of machine suppliers might be one of the reasons. In government-orchestrated bidding processes, only 2 firms are allowed to make bids: Easyway Company Limited and China Academy of Railway Sciences. Those firms have been granted exclusive rights to supply ticketing machines to the railroad system, a sharp limiting of competition that suggests backdoor deals and special favors for those involved. The report by the 21st Century Business Herald claims that during the construction of China's high-speed rail network, Easyway Company Limited was granted special favors during the bidding process. In areas of technology, the 2 companies were also given special rights. In order to increase security, all ticketing machines are encrypted with a type of protection called SAM cards. The former Ministry of Railways allegedly only granted SAM card access to the 2 companies, effectively barring other firms from competing. The story is a familiar one to the Chinese public. When it's public money being spent, both the purchaser and the seller benefit from limiting competition, inflating prices, and trimming the fat off the top. Chinese netizens reacted to the lavish purchases in different ways, mostly with sarcastic or indignant undertones. Weibo user Jianhua Feng blames state control over critical economic sectors for perpetuating a culture of lavish spending and waste in state-owned enterprises. Quote, "Don't we all know that every miller draws water into his own mills? If you have a lot of money, would you buy cheap stuff? Would you pass on a luxurious free lunch? If you said yes to all of these, that's because you're not living within the system. Anyone working in state-owned businesses would have done the same." Another Weibo user pointed the finger at corrupt officials in the now dismantled Ministry of Railways. Quote, "They apparently bought machines from factories for modest prices and then resold them to the old Ministry of Railways at high prices. No wonder ticket prices went up. They pass the equipment expenses on to passengers and treat us like fools. This lucrative business has helped produce a big batch of corrupt officials, including the former Minister of Railways." Weibo user TMT Dasheng criticized the entire high-speed model and pointed to kickbacks from suppliers. Quote, "This is already an open secret. A few years ago, some railroad engineers from France pointed out that China's topography isn't suitable for safe operation of high-speed railways. Also, the construction costs of China's high-speed railways far exceed what it cost the French when they built their own. This means that all of them are outright scams, and the only incentive to develop new technology is high kickbacks from companies being granted the right to monopolize the market." Meanwhile, netizen Jackie Wet went after the ticket machines themselves, writing, "If the railroad company had spent ridiculous amounts of money on these machines, I would appreciate it if they didn't break down every time I need them. It's really frustrating running into the broken fare collection machines in rush hour." Finally, a netizen satirized China's state-run newspapers. He mocked the People's Daily's instinctual defense of all state-owned enterprises on its editorial page. Quote, "The People's Daily should get on it and publish another article to defend the former Ministry of Railways. They'll tell us that given its status and importance, it couldn't possibly have done such a stupid thing." Netizens seem almost unanimous in their condemnation of the old Ministry of Railways. With the ministry now broken up and replaced by an allegedly market-oriented company, it'll have a tough task ahead in winning the trust of the Chinese public.